E.O.G. to all of God's families.
Prepare for the good news.
Yes, sir. If you ain't heard, we got the latest word.
Prepare for the good news.
For the score on shows and tours and even more.
Prepare for the good news.
For album releases, events, and movies.
News around the world, that's what E.O.G. presents. The news around the world, I said that's what the people get. The news around the world, that's what E.O.G. presents. The news around the world, so that's what the people get. The news we give to you brings glory to.
Hi, I'm Donnie the Saint Jackson.
And I'm Kathy Jackson, and we are Elect of God, here to bring you all the latest news in the gospel industry. In the news, Grammy nominee Jamie Grace is celebrating a number of achievements so far this year, furthering her status as one of the most successful young artists in the industry. Just last week, Jamie's #1 single, Hold Me, featuring TobyMac, celebrated 500,000 singles downloaded, earning her a digital gold certification. At the age of only 22, the achievement launches Jamie into a league of only 4 female Christian artists to have sold more than 500,000 singles. And recently, Jamie was also featured on a segment of HLN's Morning Express with Robin Meade. She spoke candidly about her ongoing battle with Tourette's syndrome, her work with her nonprofit foundation, IamAfighter.org, as well as the explosion of her musical career after she was discovered on YouTube by TobyMac. Jamie has made a remarkable entrance with the help of multi-Grammy winner TobyMac, who signed her to Goatee Records. Donnie, why don't you tell the folks a little bit about Goatee Records?
Well, they say necessity is the mother of invention, and the same holds true for Goatee Records. In 1994, after unsuccessfully finding label deals for their R&B trio out of Eaton, the producers Joey Elwood, Todd Collins, along with the Grammy Award-winning TobyMac, launched Goatee Records. They had a steady flow of artistry since then. The new label expanded to reflect the diverse interests of the founders, which was R&B, Christian, rock, reggae, and even rap. They signed artists like Grits and John Q and others. Flash forward 20 years, they've launched the careers of several other Christian artists, as well as Jamie Grace. The label has an independent spirit that they try to maintain through a steady focus on artistry and development and diversity. And saints, I think if we pay attention to the story and a lot of other stories like Goatee Records, I think the Lord's trying to show us something. Rejection seems to be a bad thing at times when we're going through it, but a lot of times it's just the Lord expanding our territories and giving us what He would have us to have, and not to settle for going under another label. I think the Lord was trying to tell Goatee Records something. We see the results thereof. They couldn't sign any of their artists. Nobody wanted to touch them. Now look at the success that they have, and the many Christian artists that have come through their labels that wouldn't have been had they just gone under a label themselves. But now that they have their own label, they're able to use their creativity as the Lord gives it to them to expand and make songs that touch us all.
Thanks, Donnie, for sharing that testimony with us. Now, in international news, the Islamist terror group Al-Shabaab has claimed responsibility for a brutal, religiously motivated attack in Kenya that killed nearly 48 people Sunday night. Al-Shabaab is a group of Somali militants that are linked to Al-Qaeda. They admitted Monday to carrying out the coordinated assault, which began Sunday and lasted through Monday morning. These terrorists coordinated the attack times with places and public venues that would be packed with local residents watching the World Cup. They're also responsible for raiding private homes. One witness to a brutal slaying said, "They came to our house at around 8 p.m. and asked us in Swahili whether we were Muslims. My husband told them that we were Christians, and they shot him in the head and chest." Al-Shabaab warned tourists Monday to stay away from Kenya, saying that the once peaceful East African nation is now officially a war zone.
You know, it seems like more and more in the news we keep hearing about Christians being attacked and murdered. And my hope is that we can hear less and less of this as time goes on. But for all of those Christians that have died martyrs for not denying their faith, you will receive your martyr's crown in heaven. Now, after this very depressing news about our Christian brother and sister being murdered and under attack, let's move into a brand new segment that we have called Random Praise.
Random praise. I know all about being random.
Well, I think that's kind of what we're talking about here. With Random Praise, what we do is we scour the internet and social media to find people that were found or caught on camera getting their praise on in random spots and random situations.
Praise.
Okay. Check out this Random Praise brother as he gets his praise on in a grocery store.
Just sing a little bit for me.
I've had some good days. I had some hills to climb. I've had some weary days. And some sleepless nights. But when I look around and think things over, see all of my good days, well, I wave my bad days.
Oh my God.
Still I won't complain.
Okay, so that was our Random Praise episode. Kathy, do you have any more news to report?
Okay, so every week, Donnie and I go through the internet trying to find stories to share with our listeners. And I came across this story that I thought was so crazy I had to share with you all. I'm just going to read it verbatim. It says, 13-year-old Asian boy has been living and sleeping together with a giant python ever since he was a baby. His father, sleeping with the enemy, his father said that the black python has been a family pet for 19 years. After the little boy was born, the non-venomous constrictor became the boy's nanny, since both of his parents were busy working. Wow. When the little boy was 9 months old, the 44-pound constrictor began to sleep with him in the same bed.
Do they have BCF in Asia?
I don't think so. The unlikely pair has been they've been best friends ever since. This is what the father is saying. They play together and they have lots of fun. And during hot summer nights, the snake's cold body is a natural air conditioner for the boy, who likes to use him as a pillow. The pet python is currently, let's see, he's 13 feet long and weighs 220 pounds. But according to the boy's father, the constrictor is very tame and has never hurt anyone.
Yeah, that father's not telling him that he had an older son, too, that came up missing.
Tony, they did not say that in the story.
That little boy's lean cuisine. When times get hard, he's going to be food storage.
I think you're probably right.
Okay, what we're going to do, I'm going to stop talking about this and I'm going to make any more comments on this little boy that's been used as food storage. So what we're going to do is we're going to post a picture of this little fella sleeping with this huge python, and we're going to post a story up on the Good News on Facebook. So y'all check out our Facebook page, The Good News, and y'all tell us what you think about it.
And now it's time for the good news shout out. This week's good news shout out goes to that little boy in Asia who's been sleeping with that giant snake. We'd like to send lots of prayers out to this poor family. And if somebody out there could please, if we can get a hold of an address, please send this child a pet dog.
And if you want a Good News shout out, check us out on Facebook. That's the Good News on Facebook. Also hit us up on our email at electivegod, E.O.G @hotmail.com. That's electivegod, E.O.G @hotmail.com. And you have a blessed day. This is Donnie the Saint Jackson reminding you to keep pressing forward, being unmovable in Christ. And as always, be blessed and remember to be the blessing.
This segment is brought to you by Elective God Entertainment, your only source for the good news.
Prepare for the good news.
With E.O.G. to all of God's families.
Prepare for the good news.
Yes, sir. If you ain't heard, we got the latest word.
Prepare for the good news.
For the score on shows and tours and even more.
Prepare for the good news.
For album releases, events, and movies.
News around the world, that's what E.O.G. presents. The news around the world, I said that's what the people get. The news around the world, that's what E.O.G. presents. The news around the world, so that's what the people get. The news we give to you brings glory to Him. When we give all this good news, it shines like the brightest gem. The news we give to you will keep you all informed. The news we give to you is more than the same old norm. Prepare for the good news.
No show's too small.
Prepare for the good news.
If you got a show, call us up. We'll let them know.
Prepare for the good news.
Yes, sir. The Dove Awards, even the Stellars too.
Prepare for the good news.
Album releases, special events, we bring you all the news.
Good news.